Yandles. Hello and welcome to a slightly different intro or beginning to a series that I am now filming. The project is not my usual bread and butter. It's not a headless guitar in the normal sense, but it is using headless hardware. Now this client came to me for a recommendation from Stony CNC, so thank you Stony. From what he said, he couldn't find anyone who would want to take this project on. Not sure if that was a bad omen, but I have been foolish enough to accept. The initial thing that caught my eye was one, it was headless hardware, but also it was a very different design. So the intro to this video is how I'm setting up such a custom instrument ready for CNC milling. Now, as it stands, I have most of the hardware. We are 99% of the way there with the design, with a few things that we just want to iron out. We've got the hardware decided, the client supplied it, same with the pickups. However, what we do need to do is finesse where the electronics are going to go, and then obviously toolpath it ready for the CNC. Error on my part, I thought I had two African Wenge pieces ready for this. I don't, I have one which isn't wide enough. So tomorrow I'm going to have to go to Yandles, buy some wood, come back, and then I can start processing it ready for the build. What's cool about this is that it is an 8-string, which obviously if you've watched my previous video, you'll see that I've just recently finished a Pink Sparkle electric guitar. What we can see is this sort of hollow sound box at the top, and this is all hopefully going to be two pieces that will be center joined, hopefully down this line. This is going to be my center line, is when the normal sort of guitar split and then when the sound box joins together. On the back, it's going to be relatively flat because I want to maintain as much vacuum area so I can hold the work down. And with the soundbox cover, you can see where it screws all together to the main body. And then in a similar way to my work, I'm putting an inlaid fretboard where the neck sort of feel sort of blends back down. There'll be a negative curve in there, so I think it's going to be a detail sander or like a Dremel sander to get in there, or just lots of hand sanding. We'll see. The next thing to really do is go get some wood that's going to complement this design, but also toolpath. I've left Yandles and got thrown through all the idyllic tiny lanes that Google Maps thought I was driving an Audi bloody Group B rally car. So it's taken me a while, but I've now gone to Axminster Tools because I really want a bandsaw. Problem is I'm not running out of space, I've ran out of space. If I turn the camera around, we're at Axminster. Been into Axminster and bought what I needed and had a look at some of the bandsaws and stuff, but I might have left with something else. They had a clearance section for machinery, which I didn't realise they did, and I've basically been able to pick up the big pillar drill for half price. Basically, yeah, not sure how I'm going to explain that to be. I don't have the room for it, so Matt, if you're watching this, can I store it in your space? So we are back in the workshop, back from Yandles and Axminster. We've got, come on track, we have probably the best bit of ash I've ever seen. So it's 80mm thick, so I need to rip that down to bit more manageable sizes, but also I've got my Wenge and Zebrano there for this project. I will start to prep the spoil board ready for the actual job, and then I'm going to use the planer to obviously plane up the material. So for now, wood prep, gluing, so that then tomorrow I can start cutting. My hair is getting long. I am overdue for a haircut, but that's besides the point. So, down in the workshop, don't know if you saw it on Instagram, I've basically now changed this to have, I've basically bored it out. Before I was using dowels straight into the aluminium, but now I'm using steel bushings to just drop stay on. But it's such a good tolerance fit that air is now a problem. So that's on both sides. So this is actually how I locate my spoil boards every time, using G54 home position 00 every time to then work to the same job, because I use the whole spoil board as my work zone. So rather than faff about with different zones and stuff, so yeah, dowels that just drop stay in, and it is much more secure. You see, look at that. Now I just need to put on a spoil board, which I've got quite a few. I've got new stock, and I can start machining out. But first, declamping that and tidy up all the residual glue and crack on. The spoil board is ready to go, so I've got a stock center line, which is actually 5mm offset, so then what I don't want is to potentially miss where that stock sits, and I want it sort of a better join on that central piece, so it's ever so slightly off, but it will basically sit in the middle of those radiuses. And with this, if I grab the tripod, so let me just weigh this massive stock. Now this is oversized and too thick at the moment, but if I weigh it on my trusty bathroom scales, it's 12.6 kilos. It's obviously quite a lot. This should balance out to be roughly about the same weight as a normal guitar. I hope so. Hope so. that was the end of the stock, which is fine because I wanted to move it up a smidgen, but it is looking really good. I'm gonna leave it there for today. It's about 5:30. I've got to go get a haircut because I look not very good. So the idea was that this design was going to be nice and sort of utilitarian on the front, and I think that's kind of the ethos, is that we didn't want to overcomplicate it with all these like a Chapman stick or an NS stick or whatever they're called, with all the active circuits. We're trying to keep true and honest. I think the back kind of represents that, but trying to give some functionality and ergonomics in that, you know, this is positioned in the right place. I'm going to home it up, leave it for the night. Tomorrow will be flip it over, machine the recess for the fretboard, and then I'll try and squeeze the fretboard material maybe onto here, I'll see. I've got carbon rods to go into the neck, just because that's the thinnest part of the thing. It's not going to harm it, and it's also going to have a truss rod just in case, just so then it's got something acting as pressure to keep it in line. Got to toolpath the rest of it though, that's the other thing. But yeah, I'll weigh it next actually, see how much material I've removed just in one stage. It is the next day, I think. Yeah, next day. Had my hair cut. This is still nice and flat to the board, so nothing's warped in the time, with obviously all the material removed, and it kind of changes the stresses in the wood, but it's nice and flat. That's why I kept it pinned down for the time being. It's really hot at the moment, but luckily the garage door is kind of keeping that at bay. So now what I need to do is flip it, put it onto the stage 2 side. I'm currently 3D printing a jig to go underneath where the neck is, so to speak. That's going to help me glue in the Zebrano fretboard, which I'll need to put on a new spoil board because of all the Zebrano. There's a soundbox cover, there's a pickup cover, and obviously the fretboard. It's quite large, and obviously the main body's taking up a whole spoil board, so that's fine. I mean, I usually use 2 spoil boards per item or product because of a neck and a body. This is kind of all in one, so to be expected. Let me just weigh this. It's a lot lighter straight away. 4.3. So that's almost a third of what it used to be. I mean, it looks crazy now. I mean, this is quite a crazy instrument, but in terms of where the hand's gonna go and everything, like, I think that's pretty good. Like, so on the back, as you play, you can get your hand and your thumb is there, and you got full reach. It's like a nice guide for your thumb actually. And then, oh, I can see it there, the belly contour, which I've used my 8-string to kind of guide all those features of where they should be in relation and where like the strap pin and things are going to go. So yeah, this is pretty good. I have now the main piece, and I've just been making sure to radius the corners of the carbon rod so they just drop in. You don't really want a tight fit because you want it to sit and then, you know, nicely reinforced. You want a nice, you know, not loose, but just enough that you're fighting the air that, you know, will push up. Fresh spoil board for the, so it'll be fretboard, stage 1 and 2 of the sound cover, and then the pickup cover, and then I've got some room for anything else that I need to. Oh, I don't know if you can tell, but it's getting really hot in my garage. If I go closer to the door, I can feel the heat radiating off it. I have insulated it with like cheap Amazon, what do you call it, eggshell foam thing. But yeah, it's hot. I don't think much more machining is left. I think probably about half an hour. But what I need to do is obviously just get that spoil board prepped for the vacuum channels, vac gaskets and everything. And then I can start skimming the Zebrano to inlay and get everything pressed in. Let's go. saving stuff. Save. So I'm recording this of the Monday, and hopefully I can upload it all tomorrow. I think this is a good time to sort of end the video, because now I've got to edit the video and then upload it. But at the moment, excuse the mess, but we got it here, 6 clamps, so 3D printed jig to make the neck shape nice and good, and I've just used normal blocks on either end. And I use sellotape actually, because the glue doesn't bond to the sellotape. Obviously if it wasn't masked off, then the MDF would swell and bond to the stuff I probably don't want it to bond to. But there we have it. Thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button and leave a comment down below. According to my analytics, most of you are not subscribed, so if you can hit that little subscribe button, that would mean the world to me. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.